welcome back to the Real Positive Girl podcast. My name is Sabrina. Happy Thursday to you all. I hope that you're having a fantastic day today. Whether your day has just begun, it's in the middle, or towards the end, I hope that it's going well. I hope that you're not enduring too much stress. I hope that you don't have too many burdens piled on your shoulders and your back, because that just makes everything harder, like everything. You want to, even if you are pushing to have a positive mindset and to change your perspective and to really look at the world, not so critically, but understand that there's going to be ups and downs, and you are ready to be flexible and take on the day despite what it may bring. But it can be really hard if you have things just continually trying to bring you down. So I do hope that you're having a good day, but if you are not and you are experiencing some stress, some troubles, some anxiety, some problems, I encourage you to do the 5-minute reset, which is where you take at least 5 minutes to be by yourself. And it's an opportunity for you to reset, come back to baseline, and just reboot and start your day over again. It is also the opportunity for you to shake off any burdens or problems or issues that you have that are bothering you, that are causing you trouble. And then if they are problems that are happening right now, take some time to problem solve, figure out how you can get through those so you can have a good rest of your day or next day or the next opportunity you have to solve those problems. Also, I find it very important for everyone to make a quick list of things that they are grateful for. I always suggest everyone to make a list of at least 4 items, and those can be really big things, or really small things, or medium-sized things. You can be grateful that you finally got something fixed in your house after waiting a long time. You can be happy that you got a raise at work. You can be happy that you're actually understanding your new job at work, new responsibilities. You can be grateful that your kid started school. Let's be real, I totally understand that. My kid hasn't started school yet, but I get it if you were super grateful for that and being able to kind of have them focused on something else other than playing games all day. But you know what I mean. So make a quick list, and the best thing about that is that since you can be grateful for things that are big, small, and medium, that the list of things you can be grateful for is never ending. So make a list of at least 4 things. And then last but not least, before you leave your 5-minute reset, make sure that you are feeling at least neutral, if not positive, about the rest of your day. You do not want to pass along your bad mood to anyone else. You don't want to be just so moody and sad and just down for the rest of the day. You want to be able to reflect back on your gratitude list and have a mindset shift, change your perspective, and realize that despite what's going on with you right now and the problems that you currently face in reality right now, that you can still be grateful for things, you can still be positive about things. I am not here to diminish your feelings at all whatsoever, but it's important to kind of change our perspective, take a step back when so many things are coming at us, and realize that there are still good things going on in our life despite the bad things, because life is just up and down that way. But I do hope that you are having a really, really good day. Just a reminder that this week we are talking about getting help, asking for help. And today, Thursday, we are specifically going to talk about how asking for help connects us. And before I jump into that, I do want to encourage you guys to come check me out over on Instagram. I am at Sabrina Joy Perozzo. Come say hi. I'm highly considering creating an Instagram for the podcast. If you think that would be good, if you prefer to go check that out, let me know if you're interested in that. I have an email address in the description box for the show. Also, you can come DM me on Instagram if you choose. But let's go ahead and jump into how asking for help connects us. I have already mentioned several times that when you reach out and ask people for help, you are not only getting help for yourself, but helping the other person as well. More times than not, when you ask someone for their help, the answer will be yes, because it is human nature to be helpful. And in addition to that, people love to help others because it allows for an opportunity to show off and demonstrate their skills. And whether you consider yourself super humble or not, or somewhere in the middle, you like to show off your skills, right? You spend so much time in school or growing up, depending upon how you learned your skills and the things that you're really good at doing. It doesn't mean you have to go to school to do that, but whatever time that you spent actually learning it and perfecting those things, you want to show them off. You want to be able to use those skills. You want to be able to let people know that, hey, I'm really good at this. Let me show you that I am. And not even necessarily in a boasting way, but just in general being like, hey, I'm really good at this thing. Do you ever need help? Do you want me to assist you in any way? And that's a That's the way that a lot of people make make an income, right? They're like really good at something and they capitalize in it by working at a company that supports that skill or starting your own business. So, but what I'm saying here is that if you spend time learning anything that you truly enjoy, you're going to want to show it off. You're going to actually use it in real life. And by asking people for their help, and especially if you are asking for someone that is specialized in a certain skill, they're going to be very excited to want to do that and help you with it. Okay, I will be honest with you. There could definitely be times where maybe someone ends up being really good at something that they don't necessarily enjoy. An example for you would be that I spent a decade cleaning people's homes full time, and I consider myself, despite how my home looks right now, because, I'm living with other people that don't necessarily see and align with my vision for how clean the house should be. But regardless, I'm really good at cleaning. I'm really good at organizing. I thrive in that way, and it really comes in handy when I need to clean my house, or I need to quickly clean my house because we have company coming over, or something is going on in that way, or we just need to rearrange the house because we have too much clutter. We need to get rid of stuff. But yeah, I'm really good at it. However, I will tell you that it's not the thing that I'm going to jump on when someone's like, hey, name the things that you're really good at that you love. Like, it's not something that I'd love to do. It's just something that I happened to become very good at very quickly, and I was able to make money from it. So I understand there's going to be instances where, you're really good at something and someone asks you for your help and it's not necessarily the thing that you enjoy doing. There's going to be those times, but I feel like more often than not, when someone reaches out and asks you for help for something, like if you're really good in fashion, or you're really good at writing, or you're really good at baking or cooking, or understanding finances, and you really enjoy doing that work, you're going to be very excited to show them what you know, and they're going to also learn from you too, which is, if you're really into teaching, then that's also a benefit. But speaking specifically about gained connectedness, asking for help is a great way to create new friendships, relationships with others, create new opportunities for collaboration, learn new things in general, and understand how we can all be good at different things, but come together as a community and work together, which I find to be a really beautiful thing. I understand how cheesy that can sound to you, but I absolutely, totally mean it. I think that coming together and just realizing how we can all be different people, and we can all come from different backgrounds and walks of life, yet, we can still have those connections. We can still come together and really understand how we can all be a community together and help each other out by sharing our skills and, working together as a team. So I just think it's absolutely amazingness, and I do think that helping each other and getting help is really driven with connection. And we as humans are social creatures, as you know. So given the opportunity to reach out to someone, engage with them, even if it is for help with something, is still a connection opportunity. So, I just think that it's like, whether you are, even if you're offering your help, you're still trying to create a connection there with someone. Like, hey, you're letting them know that you have the skill set and the ability to help them with this thing, and letting them know if they want to jump on that, then that's their choice, and I understand that a lot of people will use this as like a sales tactic of like, hey, I'm really good at this, pay me to do this kind of thing. Yeah, you can still get a connection there. I think it's more authentic, and it can become deeper if it's just like on a friend level or a relationship level that doesn't have anything to do with any sort of like sales or money driven or anything like that. But I think you understand what I mean. So, we just want to like be social, connect with people, meet new people, understand people. I know that as adults, that can be much harder, but it's still something that we are out there trying to do. And there has actually been some research within self-determination studies that talk about how humans have a basic need for relatedness among one another. Wow. This means that we all want to have meaningful and real relationships with other people. This also means we want to care for others and have others care for us. And asking for help really strengthens these connections and relationships. So we do want to relate to one another. We want to understand how we can relate to other people if they've come from different walks of life and different journeys and different backgrounds, and maybe came into the thing that you guys can relate on a different way than you did. Or, it's kind of like they end up being the peanut butter to your jelly because they can help you with this thing, you can help them with that thing, you can come together and create a relationship or friendship, a connection that way, which I find is very interesting and so beneficial and nice. So there is this basic need for relatedness among one another. And as I have alluded to before, people really do enjoy helping others. And by asking someone to help you, you give that person the opportunity to do something gratifying and meaningful for you or for someone else. You are also giving the person you ask for help praise in a way because you believe in their ability to help you and possibly their known skills. So they may feel flattered or fulfilled in being asked to help. Like, there is nothing better than being really good at something and then being requested to assist someone in that thing, because you're like, it really validates the skills that you have and your abilities and your knowledge and the fact that you took time to study whatever it is that may be, and that someone is actually asking you for help, for assistance, because they know that you're skilled and experienced and knowledge in that area. And that is so flattering, that is such a big compliment. And by us reaching out and asking people for help in the fields that they are super experienced in and they know all about, you are immediately giving them a compliment and letting them know that, hey, I think you're really amazing at this. Maybe you tell them that you've heard other people say that you're really amazing at this, and then you let them know, hey, I think that you're awesome. Please help me. And they're like, oh my gosh. Because I will just say that anytime someone's asked me to help them with something that I'm really good at, and I would say regardless of whether or not I was in love with that thing or not, even if it was cleaning or organizing, I'm like, hey, I'm still like kind of floored, like, wow, you actually think I'm good at this. And that just makes me feel so good. It makes me feel fulfilled. It makes me feel like, I didn't waste time like learning that skill or adapting that skill, and that it's actually useful to someone other than yourself. So hopefully you understand what I mean by that. And so don't feel afraid or ashamed to ask someone, because they're going to feel just as good as you are being asked for help that you will feel when you actually get the help that you need. And the point I want to really kind of bring this around on towards the end is that asking for help requires vulnerability, as I mentioned on Tuesday's episode. And by being brave enough to expose your vulnerability and ask others for help, you are being an example for others to do so as well. And, there is nothing wrong with being a role model. And I think it's an amazing opportunity for you to be vulnerable. Just let it all out there and be like, hey, I am not very good at, especially if you are in like some sort of higher position and you're kind of like quote unquote reaching down and asking someone else that might be in a lower position or someone that's far removed from you, and and especially people look up to you, you're like, hey, I'm not very good at this. And it kind of puts some humanness on it. Like, wow, this person that people may look up to you, or someone that they look up to is like struggling or is not perfect in it, despite the fact that people should know that no one's perfect, but you know what I mean. And they're like, wow, they really need help. They're just like me. They struggle as well, and you're just being that role model saying like, hey, yeah, I'm putting myself out there too. I'm admitting that I need help in different areas and that there's nothing wrong with that and that you should do that too. And being a role model for that type of behavior, there's nothing wrong with that. So I'd encourage you that even if you don't think you're being a role model, a lot of times we don't even realize that people are watching us. People are like keeping their eye on us. And I don't mean in a super creepy way, even though it does sound kind of creepy. I can get that with you. But they're watching you. People are watching you and seeing how you act. And, a lot of times you could end up being a role model without even realizing it. And so that's why I'm always like, you need to have a positive mindset. You need to have a mindset shift, change your perspective, and do the best you can and be your best self, because, you might not think anyone's watching. So you might consider doing something bad that you can get away with, but just know that there's always someone looking up to you. You just don't even realize it. But yeah, I just want to encourage you to, be brave, kind of expose who you are a little bit, show that vulnerability, and let others know that it's okay to do that. Oh, and don't forget that if you reach out for help, be ready for someone to ask you for help. It's not necessarily a requirement that you be willing to help someone else out, but it's the right thing to do. It will also be beneficial for getting more help in the future if you do agree to help others, because otherwise people aren't really keen on helping someone that doesn't reciprocate once in a while. Those people that are like, hey, I need help, but then they're never like willing to help other people. And like I said, again, it's not a requirement. You shouldn't go into asking someone for help and thinking, man, I'm super not looking forward to them reaching out to me and asking me for help. But you have to understand that someone might call on you because maybe you are meant to learn this skill from someone else, because asking people for help is also a learning opportunity and a growth opportunity. But maybe someday someone will ask you how to do this and you've been taught how to do it. And so it is going to be your job at that point to hand down that knowledge, because it's been that chosen moment, and you need to not be bitter or angry about that and be like, I don't have time for this, when you have to recall that someone made the time to help you. So that's very important. I know, again, it's not necessary, but it is the courteous and right thing to do. So, and we all know with right choices, correct choices, those are choices. You have to make the choice. You have to decide to do the right thing. But that's that on that, you guys. That's that. I didn't really have that much to say about this one, but I wanted to make sure it was an important point, because I feel like it's not necessarily talking about connectedness when asking for help is not necessarily one that's always pointed out, and at least not with that much like excitement and vigor that I gave to it today. So I hope that you really enjoyed it. But again, thank you so much for listening to the Real Positive Girl podcast. My name is Sabrina. I really hope that you enjoyed this episode, and if you did and you know someone else that would too, I encourage you to share it with them. Again, come visit me over on Instagram at Sabrina Joy Perozzo, and I hope that you come back for tomorrow's episode, which will be the final episode this week, where I will talk about the benefits of asking for help, which will be another fun little listy that we will go through and talk about. And and I always try to make it interesting and come up with reasons and benefits that you wouldn't necessarily think of off the top of your head. So I hope you join me for that. But until next time, I hope you guys have a good one, and I'll see you next time. Bye, guys.